Raiden A, one of the most misunderstood Archons in Genshin Impact. This character is quite possibly the best to ever release and is quite possibly the strongest. I have been waiting to make this video for a long time because for some reason you guys seem to think that I hate this character. But today, I am here to dismiss those allegations. Because Raiden A may have her shortcomings and may have made her mistakes, but she is also the single Archon who has received the most character development. Yes, this isn't the same A we fought in the Archon quest. She has grown to know and love her people and is slowly integrating herself with Inazuman society. A far cry from the A of the past who meditated in the plane of Euthymia. And with time, A has truly become the Archon Makoto wanted her to be from the very beginning. And what if I told you that this Archon may hold the most fascinating secret for this story going forward? Because this is I was wrong about Raiden A. Okay, so first off, I want to address why Raiden A is quite possibly the best written Archon. Hear me out. If you look at the Archon quests, the Archons themselves never really change. They are static characters. Venti, Zhongli, Nahida, Farina, and Mawika all stay relatively the same. We just learn more about them and our perspective of them changes over time. Raiden is the one Archon who actually has a change of heart after 400 years of isolation and responds to the cries of her people. And that's a big deal. Yes, we had to fight her, but if you think about it, that's how she learns. She's Makoto's shadow after all. Her entire job and existence was to fight on Makoto's behalf. So her mind from the spark of her existence has been trained to learn through combat. We also see this through her fighting the Shogun for 500 years in her mind. It is only through the crossing of blades that two warriors can truly understand each other. And it is through these duels that Raiden learns and evolves as a character. Something that no other Archons do. It's rather ironic that the Archon who has forsaken just about everything human about herself that reflects the most human aspect of all, the possibility to evolve and change. Yes, she is still dedicated to the pursuit of eternity, but she has decided to chase it in a different way, proving that her story isn't over and she will continue to innovate and test new ways to achieve her goal. And that is the most human aspect of all. And speaking of eternity, many people do not understand just how close Raiden is to the heavenly principles. Let me explain. Because A meditating in the plane of Euthymia has two purposes. The first being to resist erosion of the mind, and the second is to bring her closer to the heavenly principles. And this right here is one of my favorite references and one of my favorite things in this entire game. Because this is where she reflects Raiden Mei, the character that she's clearly based off of. And yes, the cooking thing, but that's just surface level. Let's take a bit of a deeper look, shall we? Raiden Mei in Honkai Impact 3rd is the deuteragonist and is constantly chasing after the protagonist, Kiana, in more ways than one. She chases after her because she sees her as a ray of sunshine and positivity in her life. Kiana is almost always just a bit stronger than Mei, and Mei is basically the older sister that is trying her hardest to take care of her little sister with a hero complex. A self-destructive hero complex. So throughout the story, Mei chases after, takes care of, and protects Kiana in more than one way. And it just so happens that the sustainer of heavenly principles looks nearly identical to Kiana's Herrscher of the Void form. So it makes perfect sense that Genshin Raiden Mei would look up to her. But that's not all, because it is notoriously missed that Raiden is a lot closer to the heavenly principles than we thought. Because we know and we've been told that she is chasing after the heavenly principles, but the Herrscher of the Void has this notorious walk that Honkai Impact 3rd players know all too well. And it just so happens that the sustainer of heavenly principles does this walk as well. And it just so happens that when we see A for the first time, she does the very same walk, proving that she might be rather familiar with this so-called unknown god. And that is such a cool Easter egg to me. You would think that she's just aura farming here, but in reality, she's making a reference that I sincerely hope that we get a payoff for in the future. She is the only character who seems to care anything about the heavenly principles. And of course, if Kiana has one fan, Mei will be that one fan. If rescuing her is a sin, she will gladly become a sinner. And if we get a moment like this again in Genshin, I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay. Now is where things are gonna get a little bit controversial because Raiden might just be the strongest Archon to date. Yes, I'm including Zhongli, and yes, I'm going by confirmed feats. Hear me out. Zhongli's most famous feat is throwing mountains at people, right? Or at gods. And Raiden's most impressive feat is the slash that killed Urabashi and cut apart Yashiori and Narukami Island at the exact same time. Meaning that if Zhongli threw a mountain at her, hypothetically, she could cut them out of the sky with ease. The Musono Hitotachi is just that strong and is incredibly versatile. We have proof of this. She can channel it into a wide-ranging slash like the one that killed Urabashi, or she can focus it into a concentrated output of energy and straight up disintegrate a person. This one move is so powerful that it is a physical and psychological attack. It utterly annihilates whatever it connects with, and whoever witnesses this is traumatized. And this move has no cooldown. She can just keep doing it. It has a bit of a wind up, but after she fires off the first one, there doesn't seem to be a downtime for the one that follows. Not that she would really need to use it a second time, but her ceiling is hypothetically insane. The only other Archon that could theoretically match her is Venti, who is rumored to control time and can teleport and throws around mountains like building blocks after cutting them apart with air. That would be a close fight, but Venti again doesn't have any confirmed combat application for his skills, so A kinda just wins by default. Killing gods is kinda her thing and has been her thing for her entire life. She was the one fighting the Archon War, not Makoto. She's younger, but according to confirmed feats, A kinda takes it. Same with Nahida, since Nahida refuses to use her infinite Samsara for combat, and even during combat she needed us to help her. And if A can fight herself for 500 years and win, I can't see a Samsara stopping her. And Farina is, well, Farina. And Mawika, she doesn't fight using her own strength anyway, so that's an automatic disqualification. So in a 1v1, A clears. Not to mention that when you fight her boss, she literally cuts apart time and space. But let's not go there, because factoring that into the equation, there's nothing she can't cut through at all. Her potential is limitless. So she is not only the best written Archon and the most dynamic Archon, but she's also quite possibly the most powerful. And that is I was wrong about Raiden A. And that's all I've got to say about that. Raiden A does have her positive qualities that a lot of people miss, and she's quite possibly the best written Archon to date for the simple reason that she isn't a static character. She's a dynamic one. She has changed, and that is something that should be celebrated. Yes, this is a Raiden glazing video, but I wanted to show you guys that I can see the positives in all characters, no matter how much I personally hate them. I can praise, I can ridicule, I can roast, but I can also gas. Fight you all into thinking that I actually like this character for an entire video. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody! What do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, y'all. And I still hate Raiden with a burning eternal passion.